We're out on 10. As you can see, the fence isn't in very good shape. Time to replace it. Hey everyone! Well, it's first week of October and beautiful weather out. Like I said, we're out on 10 here. And we're going to start tearing the wire off this fence. She's all old, rusty wire. Some of the posts are still good yet. Dad and I are having a little difference of opinion. Those of you that know us know it's a little more than that, but that's okay. Anyways, I'd like to just take all the posts out and just leave. We do have a gate halfway down plus a gate at the other end. The corner posts are good on that yet, so I would like to just leave. I'm in total agreement to leaving them the way they are. Here we need a new corner post because there's nothing. And really there's nothing there either. This fence actually is a page wire fence. Oh, to about that hill there where my finger is, this fence is no good either. It should be replaced too. But that's a later date, another time frame. So after 10 plus years of not having cows in here and just haying and silaging, and there was some crop before that with deer and old rusty wire, elk jumping in from over the wildlife area here, taking its toll. Never kept the fence up, so now we're looking at replacing the fence. So he's going to cut some trees and do a little prep work, and I'm going to take the staples out, and then we'll get our wire roller on our tractor, and maybe by the end of today we'll have some wire rolled up. We'll see what happens. Well, we're about half an hour in and we got this far so far. I'm thinking I'm going to have a discussion with the old wise one here. He thinks he's going to put it in the same spot as the other fence, but it's kind of running this way, this way, this way, this way. Kind of followed the bush or the trees at one time, but I don't know. I don't really. And I see it's going kind of this way over here toward the gate, so we'll either have to make a little bend in the fence up in this knoll here, or have, I don't know. But it's coming down good. There was not a lot of staples really, but I did notice when we come by here, our hunter friends have this little lookout stand here. We had a nasty windstorm here on the weekend. Gusts up to, well, Sherry and I were in Winnipeg at the time, but she was howling pretty good in there. But out here, well, it was howling enough to tip this thing over anyways. Doesn't look like any real damage, a little bit down there, but a little bit of tin damage but at the bottom, but not a major crisis. So I guess we're gonna have to move it anyways, likely to put the fence up anyways, so it can just sit right there for now. Well, it's been about an hour and a half later and got done. There's the end of the fence there. There was a bunch of broken pieces in this area. So about where that stump pile is where we're going to start with our wire roller. There's lots of broken pieces in here and there and all over, but I guess we'll deal with it when it comes, because it's not like it's going to be saved, the wire. It's going to get thrown away. Looks like this part of the fence isn't too bad for crookedness. But I let himself know that I don't think you'll want to put the fence where it was at the other end. So I guess we'll take a break, or maybe go home and have a break and come back with the tractor and the wire roller. Well, here's our wire roller. What this was at one point in time, it was a bale unroller or a bale spinner. This was obviously the spear. And this, at one time, was turned a quarter turn and facing this way. And when we acquired it, I asked Roland, because we really didn't need a bale spinner on the front of a loader. I says, can we make that into a wire roller? He says, most certainly. So this is what he done. As you can see, cut the middle out because it was on a 40-20 with a John Deere with a homemade loader. So we had to cut it to fit this loader, the 740 and the 725. And we turned this a quarter turn. So if you can imagine, that spear was basically here going that way. And then he rigged up with a couple of discs like that. And then with the hydraulics of the grapple fork, it just spins the wire on. But what I want to do something just a tad different today. I'm going to do a little experiment first. This turns awful slow, the way it's geared and whatnot. And I'm going to see if there's a difference between just using the grapple fork hydraulic, because it seems like you got to be riding the clutch a lot and go very, very slow. And I did get some old hoses. I'm going to hook up also to the back end here with this revved right up. And let's see if we can make a difference. If we can get it to spin just a little bit faster, it'd be kind of nice. But if it's the same speed, well, we're going to stay with the hydraulics on the loader. That way you just look ahead all the time. So let's do a little experiment. Okay, Dad's going to be... No, it's off. You got to turn it. Okay, Dad's going to get in the tractor. We're going to try it first with the grapple fork cylinder. And now I got the hoses draped through into the back. We're going to use the remotes at the back afterwards. So let's start with the grapple fork. Okay, that's the speed it goes. Four and a half seconds for that bolt to go around. So let's now try it with the other one. Well, we've aborted this plan on using these other hoses at the moment. I had trouble getting the coupler onto there. So we went in the shop and got another coupler because it was rusted up pretty bad. When we took the coupler off, here all this black stuff was coming out of there. And I thought, I'm not going to throw that in the transmission of the tractor. So I think so we undone both ends of the hose. We're going to just drain these hoses out. And we'll continue with this experiment maybe another day. So, foiled the tip. We're at the site here, obviously, and we're tied up. He's going to oil the chain a little bit and kind of watch things, that because we're going to do all the strands at once. But there's some strands that are broke here and there, and there's going to be a bit of a job to do, but it should work.
Patience and perseverance will get the job done.
Yep. So let's get at her.
We just turn it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get too far. Managed to get up to that stump pile there from the corner. And with the tractor on the slope this way and kept wanting to pile up on this side, we had to just quit and Now we'll take this off, so we'll show you how we do that. Well, it's the next morning, and it was supper time when we finished this roll here last night, so we figured may as well just bring everything home and we'll take it off at home here. So, and I let my hoses drain out from last night to see if using our back remotes on the tractor will work to make this thing spin a little faster. So I'll show you how to take this off. Turn this a little bit so we can pull our pin underneath. A little tight. Let me put you down here for a minute. There you go. There. Pins out. Getting there. I'll bring you back. Okay, we got the pin out. Now all we got to do is pull this out. And pull this out. Now this can be sometimes a bit of a pain. I don't know if you can see me over there. Oh yeah. In a day or two since we used this, that's what we had to do. That gets pulled out. Put back on. I think sometimes getting this off was the problem. Yep. When she really gets wrapped on tight, it's a real problem. But with a little encouragement with a hammer, I think we'll get her done. Well, about 2 or 3 minutes of ramming and jamming, and I had to get my long pry bar there to pry up against the disc there to get it to loosen up, because like I said, sometimes when she gets tightened up too much in there, I think it's especially on this collar, if I remember right, it would get jammed up in there. Here it doesn't, it comes off fairly slick because it's tapered, but there it's a solid. So yeah, we got her done. One roll off, so we'll put things back together and let's see if we can get our hoses on now. Well, let's see how many seconds it takes for this to spin around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's a little faster. Yesterday it was 4.5 seconds for this bolt to come around to this spot. Really, I guess I could compare it here real quick. Try it again. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, not quite 4 seconds. Okay, let's switch the hoses. once we got onto a flatter piece of ground past that shack, I had to lift over the shack, which using the loader mount makes it a lot handier. And once we got over past there and got into more consistent 3-wire instead of pieces and breaks and joins and hillsides that make you go this way, I was able to get a better spool on here. So I guess we'll get this off and we'll carry on. Well, we got her done. 5 rolls of wire. Once I got into the groove there and remembering how I had to take that apart and whatnot, it worked out pretty good. So I think total time used when I was actually out there was about 3 hours. But I started about this time yesterday, got 1 roll done, come back, and then farted around. This morning I was goofing around with those hoses. That didn't work out so well. So, but we know to just stay with the loader, just stay with that part of it. There, you can kind of see. So that's sufficient for what we need to do, and just ride the clutch. And once the roll gets bigger, well, you can go a little faster. So, yeah, then I think I did a couple rolls this morning. A neighbor stopped and we've chatted for a bit. And then I had a chiropractor's appointment after lunch. I think if some of you watched the last video, you know why. But come back and now it's 5 o'clock and we're all done. So anyways, I think that's enough for another video. So you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, also, well, Dad's just getting home there now, but now he's on board or taking all the posts out. He sees that the fence is kind of going all over the place, so it's not going to work like he thought he was. So we're going to pull the post out and pull those shacks out of the way, and probably even take the disc out there and level off some stuff. Anyways, we'll go with that for today, and we'll see you